Hey everyone, my name is Chapel. I'm going to go ahead and play some of these Twine games for the Twine 10 year anniversary jam. And yeah, I'm excited to get into it. I wouldn't bother subscribing to this channel or anything. This is probably going to be a one-time thing. But I apologize in advance because I'm probably going to say and a lot because this is not scripted. But yeah, I'm excited to play these. I might not play them all. I might not finish some of them. I'm going to give feedback. But yeah, I don't know. I think it'll be fun. I think it'll be interesting. We'll see how it goes. The first one is called 10-Step Escape by Dibbit. And this is the beginning of the game here, so I'm going to go ahead and read this and we'll get started. There's a soft light emanating from the ceiling. That's the first thing you notice. You're groggy and you're lying in bed, but it feels off. Maybe you're just spooked from the dream you were having. You can't remember the dream you were having. Maybe if you fall asleep, it'll start again. Is it worth it to restart a bad dream? Is that something you want to do? You're staring at the lights in the ceiling as you ponder this. Eventually, you realize that you're not looking at individual lights, but that the ceiling itself is the light. Huh. That's not how your room at home works. You get up. You've woken up in an unfamiliar room. There's a bed, a nightstand, a bookshelf, and a chest. The nightstand has a lamp on it. The bookshelf is small, with only 3 shelves. 2 for books, and the top one holding a variety of knickknacks. Across the room is a door with a clock next to it. What do you do? Yeah, so check the bed, nightstand, bookshelf, or door. So this is already sort of a setup of like a room escape. I'm into it. It's, I mean, there's no way the door is not locked, but let's try it. It's a heavy metal door, no handle, knob, lever, latch, pull. I don't know how we know it's a door then. There's probably a hinge. A simple swipe card reader to the door's left. Interesting. Like a hotel. Yeah, I guess we'll go to the bed. The bed you woke up on, it's pretty plain. A simple pillow and sheets set up on a frame. I guess these are clickable, huh? That's interesting. What are these? The P elements. Yeah, so anytime I have something clickable like this, I'd recommend you go into your CSS and make the cursor a pointer. So you get that nice little finger. Oh, I found a letter under the pillow. Oh boy. Welcome to 10-Step. There are only 10 passages in this game and only one way out. Good luck. You found a key in the letter. Alright, anyway, let's stop messing with the game. I can't help myself. Alright, so we got a key in the letter. So that key maybe goes to the nightstand. Oh, yeah. You called it a nightstand earlier, but it might be better described as a stool. Placed in the center is a lamp. The lamp is off, and there doesn't appear to be any switch for it. Only a small keyhole in the base. And your key fits into the hole. Hell yeah. Put your key in the hole and turn it. The ceiling lights go out. The lamp turns on. It's a black light. Oh, okay. You see all kinds of dirt all over the place. And projects a single beam across the room. Okay. The wall behind the bookshelf is glowing with fluorescent paint, making a bunch of arrows to point to something on the top shelf. Go to the bookshelf. I feel like we did this in the right order. Start with the bed. Unless I bet there's multiple paths. It's a bookshelf with 3 shelves. 2 for books, 1 for displaying a variety of knickknacks and other odd things. Yeah, these bother me. I'm not sure why links weren't used. Oh yeah, see, that's so much. I need some of that interaction, baby. You know what I mean? I can't have that just. Yeah, you can't just use paragraph elements on me, man. Look at the things on the top shelf. Look at the things on the lower shelves. Well, we know the top shelf. Oh wait, thanks to earlier with the lamp, there are a ton of arrows pointing to the plant on the top. Oh, let's lift that plant. Get the key card. Check the door. It's a heavy metal door. There's no handle, etc. We have the key card. Escape. Bam. I am a genius. See that? You swipe the key card, the door pops open. You dig your fingers into the gap and pull. It's heavy, but inch by inch the gap widens. It stays in place when you're done and you look through it. You're briefly blinded by the light outside the room. It leads straight outside, no hallways, no doors. For unknown building left to navigate, there's a field. You step out and breathe the fresh air. Congratulations, you made it out. Yeah, let's see if anything's different. That wasn't a reset, that's why I'm looking, because you could tell when Harlow, which I believe this is Harlow. Is this Snowman? What is this? Oh my god. Oh, I feel like such an idiot. This is... Ugh. I'm sorry. Yeah, this is, Oh my god. I'm literally so stupid. Okay, I was looking at the iframe. This is Snowman. Okay. Yeah, I thought this was Harlow first. This is Snowman. That makes a little more sense. Why it didn't have a hard reset, so never mind. My apologies. I'll cut out all that stuff in the middle while I was bumbling around like a fool. Yeah. Let's see if we do something in different order real quick. I'm just gonna blaze through it. Oh, see, I still have the key. I still have the key card. So, yeah, I could just go straight to the door. Yeah, I gotta be honest. That's a little disappointing. It seems like they need to do a little more work to clean up that those variables. I don't know. Maybe that's intentional. It's kind of strange. Anyway, I like the game. It's a simple escape room, but I mean, it's functional. It's great proof of concept. It could definitely be expanded into something a little bigger in the future. Maybe with art, it'd be pretty simple to slap some art together for this. I mean, not simple necessarily, but you know what I mean? There's not a lot of stuff you have to worry about. You got like 4 things here. Yeah, I like it. You know, get that dopamine rush of solving a puzzle. Anyway, next game is going to be The Floating House by Hallie Ivy, I believe. There's a very good chance that I'm misinterpreting or mispronouncing these names. Let's go ahead and run it. Alright. Before we get started, we're going to see what story format this is. Yeah, okay, so this is Harlow 3. Alright. If that doesn't mean anything to you, don't worry about it. It helps me. I don't like that color on the background. It's kind of hard to read. You never really looked forward to the annual leadership seminar. It meant a long, strenuous bus ride with some of your favorite people in marching band. Or least favorite people. Wow. Let me start over. You never really looked forward to the annual leadership seminar. It meant a long, strenuous bus ride with some of your least favorite people in marching band. Luckily, the trip is almost over and you're heading back home. The rain pounds the windows of the bus, making it harder to hear your own thoughts. Maybe you should stretch your legs, try to make conversation with your peers. That's always a mistake. I was in marching band. Don't do it, ain't worth it. I'm kidding, marching band was fun. Connie is sitting far from everyone in the back seat. Abraham is writing something in his seat. I'm laughing because this is already starting to remind me of one of those like Einstein riddles where you gotta like figure out which order people want to be in or something. I'm like already having conniptions, like I'm gonna have to remember this or reorganize these people for some reason. So Abraham is writing something in his seat. Okay. Felix is sitting with Catherine in the front. I can tell you right now I'm gonna mix up Connie and Catherine. And the bus driver is busy driving. That's that's good. Try to get some sleep. The floating house, huh? Let's talk to the bus driver. Let's be that kid. You know that kid? I don't want to be mean, but you know that kid on the bus who talked to the bus driver? That kid was always a little off. I don't know if that's a thing at every school, but every bus I've ever ridden on, I had one kid who wanted to try to talk to the bus driver. Yeah, bus driver, a lot of times, they don't care. They'll talk to you. They're just driving. Ain't got nothing better to do. You can't have music on or nothing. So I'm going to be that kid. I'm going to channel my inner bus driver talking kid. Alright. You brave a visit to the bus driver, hoping... Oh, it's a she. See? Look at that. I'm being sexist. I just assumed it was a man bus driver. But women can drive buses. that she might be nicer than she appears. Damn, son. The smell of smoke fills your lungs as you approach the driver's seat. She's a lumpy middle-aged woman with gapped teeth and a set of 7 long yellow crack nails. They're throwing down the gauntlet. What road are we on? How much longer? How long have you been a bus driver? I'm curious. She pauses before talking in a low gravelly tone, like a pack-a-day smoker. I don't know, maybe about 10 years? Dang, maybe I ought to find a new calling aside from driving thumbsuckers around, eh? What about you? You want to be a bus driver someday when you grow out of your pull-ups? I mean, you were kind of a dick to her in your mind. She must have seen the way you were looking at her. Seems like a nice job. I never put much thought into it. Seems like a nice job. Might as well. I'm on the path to nowhere at the moment. I mean, hell yeah. Show some interest in her career, man. That's, She readjusts her position, making the seat squeal. That sentence is doing a lot of work. Well, you best get to figuring your shit out. Otherwise, your ass is as big as mine. I don't know why I found this so funny. This is a very delightful story by Hallie Ivy, I believe it is. She let out a hearty smoker's laugh. You leave her to focus on the road, thinking about what she said. You really don't want to be a bus driver with a big ass. Hey, ain't nothing wrong with a big ass. That's all I'm saying. Do you even like band? I mean, I was in band and I hated band, so I get that. It's the only extracurricular you're involved in. He's a band kid. Maybe you'll just major in something safe at the community college, like accounting. Still a long way. I wonder if I could pester the bus driver more. I kind of just want to hang out with the bus driver this whole time. Yeah, just keep going. It's nice that they changed the color, but see, this color is also bad. All right, like, I'm sorry, I'm coughing a lot. I'm still in the process of moving over to Firefox, so I don't have all my stuff set up yet. We're gonna go ahead and grab these inspect elements. We're gonna look at this. What color is this? All right. So you're gonna throw that in there. And we'll come back over. What color is this background? We could probably just scroll down to find it. I thought it would be on TW Story, but I didn't see it. Maybe I was. Oh, it is on TW Story. I must. That bus driver's still in my brain, man. We're gonna keep talking to her. Don't you worry. Okay. So yeah, here you go. Look at this. Fail. 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 All right. So, why is it failing? Because it's too dark. It is way too dark. Let's make it lighter. Bam. Pass on large text. And passing. And that's really right there. Well, you'll see 7 is kind of the magic number. But this is bold text that he's using. He or she. I apologize. So you can get away with the 5-to-1 range, 4.5 to 1. You can get away with that. Ain't nothing wrong with that. Most people will be able to read that bold text. But this is way too dark. Let's grab these links because I think these are probably too dark too. Yeah, just looking at the 688, how low those numbers are, it's making me think this is probably going to be too dark. So this is just barely passing in the most minimal way. Like I said, 4.5 is really what you want as an absolute minimum. 4.5 right there. That's where that is. Really, though, 7 to 1 is what you want. So anyway, this is called webaim.org. It's the contrast checker. If you search for the contrast checker, you'll find it. And I highly suggest when you're setting up your color schemes, you use this. Because this is going to be hard for people to read. It's hard for me to read. And, I don't have that many eye problems, but I'm like staring at this and I'm like, I can feel my eyes getting tired. So anyway, we're going to get back to the game. I apologize. So let's ask her what road we're on. She darts she darts her eyes at you before turning her gaze to the rain-soaked windshield. I have to say, I love the amount of character we're getting from these characters. This is really good, like what I sometimes refer to as authenticating detail. I'm not the only one who calls it that. I don't mean to imply that. But if you've ever heard me scream about it on the Twine Discord, that's what I'm talking about. It's like this idea where like you capture all of a moment with just like one or two really good, well-placed details. Like the rain-soaked windshield tells us a lot about what's going on, and her eyes darting and then returning to you. I think it's a little wordy in there. There's like a lot of, if you look at it, there's a lot of, what's the word I'm looking for? Phrases in here. And that can make it a little hard to get through, but the actual detail work being done here, really good, really full of character. I really feel like this is a living and interesting character. You know, with storms like this, the rate of accidents triples. In fact, I heard this one bloke, I kind of tripped over that word because I don't see bloke a lot, got real distracted by some kids while driving, a storm crashed. Those suckers didn't have a chance against the 18-wheeler. Gravelly voice gives you boost goes. Message received. You decided to leave her to her drowning. Okay, I think we're gonna... Who should we go for? Let's go talk to Connie. She's sitting far from everyone in the backseat, so she's got to be either a loner or like a super cool, sexy goth chick. You always found Connie rather intimidating, but since you still have a few hours left on the bus, you figure you might convince her to talk to you. She's sitting alone on her seat playing a handheld game. She has curly brown hair and, like you, is still wearing her red military-style band uniform. Yeah, those things are hard to get out of. She looks up at you. She looks you up and down as you approach her. What game are you playing? Did you have a good trip? Yeah, see, I don't know. This seems like the Chad response right here, you know, not stuttering or whatever that ellipsis is supposed to represent, some sort of brain aneurysm in the middle of the sentence. Connie pauses the response with, your hair is all messed up. Before she returns to his game, he guesses she's done talking to you. You attempt to fix your frizzy black hair before you talk to anyone else. Alright, well that was something. Honest Abe. Abraham has his nose firmly placed in a notebook. A calculator is balancing on his knee. He doesn't seem to notice you approached him. What you doing? You start making him drop his book and his calculator. Try to help him think, Charlie, I'm not in the mood. I think we're probably a boy then. I gotta finish this chem lab before we get back. Okay, so I was thinking he was studious, but I think that he might be the opposite of that. You leave him to his work. You appreciate him. He is loyal and hardworking, but he can be a little intense sometimes. That's fair. You still have a long way. Let's talk to Felix. Let's just talk to them all. You can hear their conversation from across the bus. That's right. They're siblings sitting together. They share a knack for voice projection, whether for attention or sheer lack of personal awareness. It's definitely the latter. Felix has his Shenko. Yeah, I don't know what that is. Oh. I was in marching band. I just called it my band hat. Came in a little box. I didn't know what a term. Felix has a shaking flannel with his eyes. He's balanced his thick glasses on it. He continues to tease his sister with a shoddy impression of a robot. If I can learn to computer practice. It's a weird thing to say to your sister, but I guess he's just messing with her. Ooh, yeah. So I'm only allowed to burn Felix. So, which one's better? I feel like hitting him in his virginity is probably going to hurt him most. Your girl that makes Catherine giggle is really ridiculous, so I'm punished no matter what. Her braces make her spit a little as she laughs. Felix offended. I'm sorry. Her braces make her spit a little as she laughs. Felix, offended, flicks her ear in retaliation. They fight in their seats and you decided that you best stay out of family matters. Still a long way. I guess we'll talk to Catherine too. Oh yeah, okay, so it's just the same stuff. We'll hit fractal. Same thing. Yeah. Oh, I could have seen that because... Yeah. I guess we'll get some sleep. You decide to try to nap the time away, but just as you take out your travel pillow, the bus makes a pop sound. It's not a very intimidating sound. The floor becomes unstable and everything leans to one side.
You're honorable shit. The driver's seat. We know who that is. The bus starts to lurch to a stop. Catherine screams at a tone very similar to her laugh. I wonder if we had not talked to her, if that would have been mentioned. The diver, that should be driver probably, slumps out the door and into the rain. Okay. Yeah, I mean, I'm basically her ride or die at this point. Yeah, step out of the bus. You pull your jacket over your head, step out of the bus. It's dark and frigid with the rain. You can't see more than a couple feet in front of you. You get back in the bus. Let's see if you need help. More like you want to stick your big nose in my work. That is true. Well, bad news. We got ourselves a flat, and worse, I ain't got no ways fixing it. This woman talks like I do, and I find that offensive. You see that the front right tire must have ran over something big. It's ripped apart, almost shredded. Maybe something metal? It was Sonic. It was Metal Sonic. You turn to see the street, but there aren't any cars in sight. What are we going to do? Well, seeing as we're sitting ducks in this here storm, I says we ought to look for someone who can help our little situation. I believe I saw a big gate with a little light. With a light a little further down the road. She spits a large loogie. What'd you say her name was? Charlie. She shakes your hand. Elizabeth. Oh, okay. We get her name. Let's remember that the ugly gal got the purty name. Gotta call yourself ugly. Ain't no such thing as an ugly gal. Well, Charlie, want to help me get your little friends, Heinies, out here? I do. After many moans and groans, the group gathers their bags and heads out the bus. The process of getting everyone's instruments out of the bus's exterior compartment is hectic without a wild rainstorm. Man, I'm butchering these sentences. I didn't expect to keep going. The process of getting everyone's instruments out of the bus's exterior compartment is hectic without a wild rainstorm. There is a wild rainstorm. The point is it's hectic, even without it. Which I now understand, having finally completed that mountain of a sentence. I feel like if you have trouble reading a sentence aloud, that's the author's fault, but I am also an idiot, so it could be either way. Any raincoats were sacrificed to keep the instruments from the rain. Well, your trombone was heavy enough, you feel extra bad for Abraham having to drag this 30-pound tuba across my asphalt. I imagine it's like a sousaphone tuba or something. That's what we use because it's marching band, right? So, yeah, those things are big. All right, ladies. That house I saw is more than a mile back up the road. The sooner we get some shelter, the sooner we can sleep out the storm. The sooner your bobbies can get you away from... This is the worst bus driver. You are not supposed to just leave and try to march for a mile with a bunch of kids. Oh, man, she's going to be liable if anything happens, which it is, because I believe the house is probably floating at some point, based on the name of this game. If any of y'all feel... Like I said, this lady talks like me. If any of y'all feel inclined to wait in the cold metal death tube till the flood takes you to your water grave, I guess. I mean, she could keep the engine running. And also, I don't think she should be encouraging them to stay behind, but what do I know, man? I don't know. She's very confident. She is right. The rain is starting to pull around your ankles, and soon the dip where the bus lies will be filled with water. Shelter may be your only option. All right. After 30 long wet minutes, you approach the house that the driver was describing. Facing the street is a decaying metal gate. It's large and white. On the crown is a faded, painted sign. You can only make out the letters. I like that effect. That looks like probably using some type of text shadow effect, is my guess. Yep. Yes, this is a really cool idea. This is exactly how I would have done it. What they did was they set the color of the text to transparent and then use the text shadow behind it, which I will make red so you can see it. We'll make it brighter red. Maybe red's not the best color. Let's make it yellow. A real bright yellow. Okay, can you see that? That is the shadow element. And so the actual text itself, let me see if I can bring it back, is that. And so the shadow is placed directly behind it. And it's given a small blur radius. And it was set to the same color. And then they
hid the letters. And that gave them that really neat blurring effect. So that's some pretty sophisticated CSS. I approve. Not that it matters what I think, but little tiny things like this throughout a game, I think really, you're only working with text. You don't want to overdo it. I think a lot of times, I think a lot of people have a tendency to try to add like combat systems and pictures and all this stuff. You get a well-written game like this with interesting, funny characters, good setup, and you just do a couple little things like that. I really appreciate things like this. You can see that when I highlighted it, the shadow kind of disappeared. You can see the text again. Anyway, I love that blurring effect. Really good job. I think that's great. Beyond the gate is a very large bog. The whole area smells like moss. Oh, man. Standing on a hill above the bog is a colonial-style house. Yeah, the reason I stopped on that smells like moss is because I really appreciate... you get so much seeing... and you get a pretty decent amount of hearing. It's rare to get smells, tastes, and even like the wind feel. You get wet minutes, which I don't think is a very strong way to describe that sense of touch. But, the other senses sort of disappear a lot of times in writing, so really good to see that this author is aware of that and has decided to make sure they try to incorporate, Wet is trying to incorporate that sense of touch. They've done things like that a couple times, and I really appreciate trying to incorporate the other senses. That really helps ground the reality of the scene. Standing on a hill above the bog is a colonial-style house. Mansion might be a better name for it. The giant building is painted in what used to be pastel greens and pinks, but rain and time have rotted the pigment. I'm having a little trouble seeing that. Being surrounded by the bog, the only way to the house is a swollen plastic bridge. You can see the multicolored synthetic structures peek out of the water. I'm having a little trouble seeing this. The whole place looks like it used to be a man amusement park. Your spine shudders. You're probably from the cold, but maybe something else. So I'm going to take 1 second real quick and just read through this without reading aloud. Yeah, I'm having trouble seeing that. I might cut that out if it's too boring, but doesn't look like anyone has used it for years. I don't know about this place. This looks like it probably doesn't really matter which choice we do. It seems you and your friends are in need of asylum. A thin voice pierces through the sound of the downpour. You blink the rain out of your eyes and see a tall, slender man. Slender man. Standing on the opposite side of the gate. Tall, slender man is literally making me think it's just Slender Man, so I don't know if that's the best word choice. Was he standing there the whole time? His pale face gleams in the darkness. Lightning strikes. In the millisecond of illumination, you see the skin stretched tightly around his skull. Must have had a lot of work done. I like that description. I like the lightning strike. That's like such a, such a great little silly cliche to pull out there. Of course, the lady of the house will be happy to take in visitors. He pushes the gate and it groans open. Never been a fan of squealing and groaning things. I don't know. It's just a personal thing. You should come in before the water rises above the bridge. He pivots, swinging his tailcoat behind him. I have no idea if he's this sinister. He got like an Igor vibe and a Slender Man vibe combined. So I'm just I'm doing the voices now. Apparently, follow close behind him. He seems like a legit dude. I mean, like he's offering you asylum. So I would probably be close to him. Something about this man is peculiar. Oh, that's giving me a headache already. You speed up your pace to catch a better look of him. With the rain pouring so heavily, he does not seem to be bothered by it. In fact, his eyes are so wide and focused that you could swear the rain is falling directly in them. Okay. That's not good. Without moving his gaze, he quickly turns his head to you. Lovely place, isn't it? Then gives you the widest, most forced smile you've ever seen. His teeth are perfect. His lips are chapped and lack color. Probably shouldn't have gotten so close. It sure is. The man keeps a very fast pace until he reaches the steps of the house. He stops, turns 90 degrees, and follows the path to the north side of the house. Attached to the building is an exterior staircase that leads up to the second floor. You and your classmates lug your things up the steps before entering the house. Though you're happy about getting out of the rain, nothing about this house is comforting. Inside is extremely humid. You feel as if you can't breathe correctly. Yeah. It's like a sauna, huh? The smell of mold and still water is nauseating. That's that smell coming back again. So good use of senses. You imagine the house must flood often enough to keep the walls and floors constantly wet. I'm not sure who this character is, but not a fan of that font, especially with this with the poor color scheme. It's a little hard to read. But it says, "Hello, boys and girls." A small, squeaky voice startles your group. Standing at the end of the hall is another tall figure. She skips toward you, flinging her limbs around. It's quite the contrast to her rigid counterpart, which I assume is the man. She's dressed in what you can only describe as casual clown wear. Ruffles, big shoes, and intense makeup. Her puppet-like arms open wide as if to receive a group hug. You wouldn't believe how happy I am to see your smiling faces. You all are very lucky indeed. She chuckles, showing her buck teeth. I feel like this should not be in this voice style, because that's what I thought this was supposed to be. Anyway, I'm not a fan of this font. This font is hard to read. Readability's always got to be king. I appreciate what they're trying to do here, though, and other people will have no problem with this. It's just, I tend to like fonts like this that are serif and straightforward, basic fonts. The reason is because dyslexic people can read this very, very easily. This stuff, you got someone dyslexic who is following along, loving the story. They're gonna really struggle when they hit this. This is a nightmare for dyslexic people, and frankly, it's a nightmare for people who even aren't dyslexic. Like I am legitimately having trouble with it. I see you met our ringmaster, Mr. Floyd. I'm Dorothy, the owner of the floating house, the must-see attraction of the South. Oh, how I wish you could experience our spectacular in-home river ride. We're still working on our new edition. In-home river ride? I mean, that's my question. Dorothy gives a shrill giggle. Aha! I don't know what shrill giggle is. Yes, you see, that's why you must enter through the second floor. The entire ground level is dedicated to our #1 attraction. And I don't think you want to sleep in water, right? Her eyes open a little wider, last one showing their intense white hue. She moves a lot and does things a lot. I'm not sure how I feel about that. It's very animated, but it feels like she's twitchy, and I'm not sure if that's because they're overdoing it with all the movement, sort of to avoid doing the tags, the dialogue tags, or if that's because just that's the character. For now, I'm just gonna assume it's the character. Your bus driver grunts a bit. Dorothy's positivity has made her physically ill. Well, poor Elizabeth. Or maybe it's the likely asbestos. Could be the lead-based paint too, right? Or the mold and mildew. Well, we all appreciate your kindness. What we really need is to sleep until this here storm blows over. Them kids call the parents in the morning and we'll be out of your hair. Dorothy's smile faltered a bit as she looked at your driver up and down. Yes, well, Floyd will show you all to our guest bedrooms. This bus driver seems like chronically stupid. Despite the house's size, you share a room with Abraham and Felix. I guess that makes sense. The boys, I imagine the boys and girls are split up. Your driver was given her own room. Okay. So you think there's really a river ride downstairs? Felix asked, breaking the silence. Abraham crinkled his nose. Oh God, I don't even want to know. I hate boats and water. Those gross puppet things. The animatronics you pipe in? I remember it's tired from the trip and the stress. It seems like Felix and Adams are already asleep in their beds. You can't understand how. You're still wet from the rain, and there's a chance you'll fully dry in this humidity. Not to mention your bed smells like dust. You try to lay on your back and ignore it, but your head is filled with the house's fumes and an echoing drip coming from God knows where. The drips continue in a sort of rhythmic song. Drip, drip, drop. Drip, drip, drop. The song is familiar, annoyingly familiar. Just continue. You realize it's your school's fight song. Your school's fight song sucks. How's this possible? It's water. It's water. The water, it's playing your fight song. The song you have to play on repeat every weekday for hours. I imagine most people are aware of this, but if you're not aware, the fight song is just, it's the thing you play when you're in the band, when you're in the stands, not doing the marching band show, but it's the thing you play when they score. It's the thing you play when they really need to score. It's the thing you play to whip the crowd up. It's just, yeah, this is exactly true. I feel like it would have been helpful if he named the song. Like, I feel like that would have been a neat little chunk of world building to actually name the song. Maybe it's a classic song, maybe it's not. But either way, it's fine. The song your director makes you play for punishment. Yes, that's true. That is how marching band is. I guess it's still the same all these years later. Actually, maybe this person, I don't know if this person's that much younger than me. You can't sleep. You have to get out of this room. Maybe one of your peers hears it too. Alright, so Felix is a goofball. And Abraham was doing his homework. We don't know much about Abraham, really, except for that he was doing his homework. So I'm going to take a chance on him. Abraham didn't seem like he was sleeping very good anyway. You shake him until he gets up, annoyed. Abraham hears the noise too. With some convincing the two, you exit the bedroom and find your bus driver. To find your bus driver and leave this place. So, really weird that the conversation or whatever was just completely skipped over. Like, it's not important. Just kind of a weird choice. That feels like it should have been like at least an exchange to build these two characters. But maybe it's just, not worth spending too much time on. We're going to get who you choose to go with is important later or something. Just as you close the door behind you, the hallway groans as if the walls are expanding. That's not good. From around the corner, a huge gush of water comes rushing towards you, led by a small green boat. Grab onto the boat. The boat swings and crashes against the corridors. You round the corner, see Connie and Catherine watching in horror as you come rushing towards them. Trying to keep them from being washed away by the current, you and Abram grab the girls and pull them onto the boat. That's a double date now. I mean, if you're in high school, that's all it takes. The hallway twists and turns before you and your friends are pulled down into the stairwell. Now they're your friends. I don't know. They didn't seem like your friends when you were on the bus earlier, but okay. All right. You close your eyes and you feel the jolt of each step. The boat moves as if it could flip at any moment. Okay. Yeah, I can see that. And then it all stops. You feel the current decelerate to a gentle drift. I hope this is turns out to be just a really good ride, legitimately, and these people are just some fun-loving creeps. You're floating in what looks like a flooded dining room. The room is dimly lit, and the song you heard upstairs is getting louder. Catherine starts to whine. The four of you are soaked, and the boat is barely large enough for everyone. Again, it's weird that there's not dialogue. I know Catherine's the one who makes the annoying noises with her mouth, so that's kind of her thing, arguably. But it's just kind of a weird choice. To your left is a silhouette of a human figure. You call out, hoping it's someone that can get you out of this. Figure turns around mechanically, reveal a plaster frozen smile. Five Nights at Freddy's. It's a large stuffed bear animatronic. Uh-oh. Let's come on. A broken speaker starts to playing carnival music. So I have a confession to make. I am not afraid of animatronics, carnivals, clowns, fun houses. It does not scare me. So this is, I don't think this is actually supposed to be scary, but I'm just saying I never got the creepy carnival music and a bear animatronic and clown makeup. Plenty of people have that fear though, so it's a little effective, not a criticism of the story at all. This is the floating house. Your boat I'm not sure who said that, I guess the bear. Your boat lurches forward onto a track and the rest of the house comes to life. Puppets plunge down from the ceiling. A dragon with broken eyes rises from the water, and floating animatronics sing their recorded phrases. You are overwhelmed by the horrible sights and sounds, but underneath the noise, you can still hear your school's song. You come up to a fork in the road. The song is coming from the tunnel to the left. Violent thrashing can be heard from the tunnel to the right. Well, we're here for the song, and violent thrashing sounds like it could be rapids or violence. So, I feel like we should go left, but I feel like this is probably like a bait and switch, so we'll see. That horrible fight song rings in your ears. You plunge your hand into the murky black water and steer to the left. Sensing your path, the group leans to help you. Okay. I don't know if this is necessary. I mean, they could just lean to help you. Sensing your path makes it seem like you're like having some sort of spiritual connection together. The path dips quickly, leading you under a smelly black waterfall. You wipe the muck off your eyes and see a grand ballroom. There's a swinging mold-covered chandelier and stained glass window. This should be stained glass window. And stained glass windows make the... Okay. There's a swinging mold-covered chandelier and stained glass window is what it seems like it's going to be. So when I hit that S, it really throws me off. So this could use a little tweaking, the sense. Anyway, stained glass windows make the river sparkle with color. That's pretty. The song is now louder than ever. In the center of the room is a large stage with 5 metal skeletons. This must be the unfinished exhibit Dorothy talked about. Boat lunges again, taking you straight towards the stage. Okay, so the only people we haven't seen so far are the bus driver and Felix. And Felix should be sleeping upstairs. So the only person who could like conceivably be like stuffed inside one of these animatronics or whatever is the bus driver, right? Anyway, let's see what happens. The boat slams into the stage, tossing your party forward. As you begin to stand, the metal skeletons turn like a clockwork. Anyway, I want to address this real quick. Tossing your party forward, we're really losing the physicality of everyone in this. It's a lot of action. It's moving very, very quickly. And I think that if you want to... If you can't afford to individually explain these characters, I think you should just zoom in, focus on the viewpoint character, what they're experiencing, and have them bump into another character every once in a while to remind us that they're there. Instead of this, you did this, and then your friends also were there, and then, you know, like, tossing your whole group forward, like, that doesn't have the same visual impact, like, in your mind movie as you're reading this, right? Like, you're tossing your party forward, like, you kind of just, like, if you're like me, you just like imagine them just like a big lump falling out all at once of the boat, which is not appealing or realistic as an image. So it's not what's intended, but it's kind of what the effect that this is having. Anyway, as you begin to stand, the metal skeletons turn like a clockwork. Maybe that's a regional thing, but around my parts we just say turn like clockwork. Clockwork being, I guess, like I don't know, like a concept more than an item, an object. All except one is holding instruments. The one on the left is holding the same same instrument you play, trombone. But you look again, it's the exact instrument you play. Yeah, I mean, you brought them down the scratch on the bell. In fact, each skeleton holds the instruments you and your friends brought with you. Catherine's flute, Connie's drums, Abraham's tuba. The only thing missing is, I hope you don't mind if I borrow these. Dorothy giggles as she swings from the chandelier. You and your friends have to duck as she flips around, landing gracefully in front of you. You see, I was simply inspired by your little band of misfits, pardon the pun. It should be M dashes. Because this is like a parenthetical. That I just had to make ourselves a little music group of our own. The use of the our, the inclusive pronoun here is kind of throwing me off. She reaches her hand deep in the water to pull out Felix's clarinet. As you can see, they are almost done. Where's Felix? We're going home. Where did you get that? Oh, okay. Well, I suppose it's better to show you. She reaches into the black water once again, pulling up a tide. So Felix, he starts to cough violently, spitting up the water from his lungs. Dorothy kicks him back in the water. Connie lets out a cry before rushing to Felix, but Dorothy grabs her by the jacket. She begins to stroke Connie's curly hair. Such a pretty little thing. She'll be an excellent addition to my collection. You can't let this go on. You must act. Okay. Why would Connie, the loner video game girl, rush to save Felix instead of Catherine, his sister, is my question. Like, what? Maybe it's random or something. Yeah, it just seems kind of strange. So we can save Connie or Felix. I don't want to lunge at Dorothy. That seems like a horrible idea. So we're going to grab Felix out of the water. I mean, Connie knew what she was doing. She was trying to... I mean, maybe she might have a plan. I don't know. I don't know. I have a feeling whichever one I don't save is going to die. Kind of makes me want to save the girl, but I feel like Felix is... I don't know. I feel like Connie didn't have to do this. We had one person to save. Now we have two thanks to Connie. Thanks a lot, Connie. You turn to Abraham, hoping he will read your mind. Then before... It's a hell of a thing to hope for. Then before Dorothy can react, you dive into the muggy... I think it might supposed to be murky. You dive into the murky water. The aged gunk in the water burns your eyes. You grasp blindly before feeling Felix's coat. You drag him out of the water and into the boat. You look up to see Abraham punching Dorothy before wrenching Connie out of his grasp. Okay. So Abraham's just legit. He's a real dude, real bro. You feel immensely grateful that Abraham was here to save her. I'm sure Connie also feels immensely grateful. Dorothy lets out a blinding scream. I'm not sure how a scream can blind you. The entire house shakes and rattles. Yeah, shouldn't it be like deafening? Yeah, I'm not sure what a blinding scream is. That might be a turn of phrase though, from some, far-flung backwater place. I'm kidding. that might be like an expression that I'm just not familiar with. Just as you get everyone on the boat, the metal animatronics come to life. Baby, Five Nights at Freddy's. Everyone dives their hands into the river, desperately steering to the nearest exit. Saying dives their hands, like, wouldn't you, like, plunge your hand or stick your hand? Like, diving your hand, like, I don't know. I was having trouble imagining what that looks like. I still kind of am. But little typo there, skeletons begin to paddle rapidly in the water. Their arms spin like rudders. This is giving me, like, Dark Souls flashbacks, like the bone wheel skeletons. Your boat bounces off the walls into a long corridor. Yeah, okay, that's pretty cool. As you pass each door, it opens to reveal a lunging animatronic, flailing their arms to grab at your flesh. I feel like these animatronics came out of nowhere, man. I was hoping for more of these creepy doll people, but whatever. You frantically duck and dodge a pirate with a sword, a headless mermaid, a bloody bride, a group of human-sized crows. If you're not gonna... See, what I would rather have, one crow swings down and grabs hold of you. See this? You red military. You probably pull your arm out of the socket, try to wrench it out. Letting out a guttural scream of pain. You black out. This is very fast. Like, this is like feels like a drive-by, man, or like we're in a plane at 30,000 feet, just zipping through the story. Like, this is really probably a time issue. I mean, this is a game jam, so that's totally fair. This isn't like a deep criticism, but like, I would, if this were me and I only had time to write this much for this section of the story, I would have mentioned that a lot of stuff happened sort of like this, but instead of this big list of things and then sort of one offhanded thing that, practically pull your arm out, I would probably focus on one big event, one specific animatronic coming after you, have them actively defeat it or fight it back in some way, and then sort of hit these other points as you go. I think building this section of the story around, one set piece like that would have been smart. That being said, it's not the worst. It's not terrible. It's just just a different way of doing things. I just feel like it sucks a lot of the energy out of this escape scene because we're just kind of going, much like a water ride, actually. Letting out a guttural scream in pain, you black out. Drip, drip, drop. Drip, drip, drop. The sound echoes, pounding the inside of your head. You open your eyes to see a small tube attached to an IV bag. Hey! Drip, drip, drop. You feel a hand on your shoulder. He's awake. Connie, Felix, Abraham, and Catherine are all sitting at your bedside. They all seem to be waiting for you to awake. So that doesn't happen in real life. So I'm you don't have 4 people sitting around you in a hospital bed especially if you're like unconscious for a significant amount of time. Like, they're definitely not going to want people in there. You're going to be in the ICU. However, this could be a trope, like kind of like, oh, woke up and they're all together so they can have it at the end. Or this could be like some sort of dream, some sort of problem, or the whole thing could have been a dream. That would be a nightmare. I hope not. Kind of looks at the floor. Well, thanks to you, we got out of the house. She's looking at the floor. Am I like missing an arm or something? The rain got so bad that we had to steer the boat all the way to the road. Eventually, someone came and picked us up. I was completely flooded. They can't even find evidence there was a house there. Nobody believes us, so if anyone asks, we were in a car crash and our driver didn't make it. Well, I think they're going to want a body and maybe a car. Abraham gives you a tired smile. You saved us, Charlie, all of us. We would have been playing crappy carnival songs for eternity if it weren't for you. You really did it. He gets up and gives you a gentle hug. Thank you. I don't know if we really did anything. Soon all of your friends got up to join in a hug. Partially to thank you, partially to finish this horrible chapter. Because once they let you go, we will all be different. This appears to be the ending, unless there's something secret on this page, which I don't. I don't think so. But let me look anyway. Let's see here. No, there's nothing else here. I feel like at the end, slapped on the bottom might have been a. Excuse me. I feel like at the end, slapped on the bottom, or maybe some credits or something, would have been a good call. But yeah, the end's kind of, I don't know. Let me sum up the story for you. How I feel about it. I have problems with the UI, as you know. I'm not a big fan of the centered text. If you want it to be blocky like this, go with Justified. Needed fixes to the color of the links, and I think some of the font choices were sacrificing readability for an effect that I don't think was worth that sacrifice. Story, I liked it. This person clearly, I can tell this is an early draft, but I can guarantee you that if this person generates a couple more drafts of this is going to be a really, really fun and interesting story. I think some of those action scenes need expanded. Some of them need condensed. I like the characters a lot. I think the characters are really fun. I could tell that they're, based on composites or real people or characters or something. Like, they feel really distinct. They work really well together. Like, maybe this is this person's friend group or something. It feels that way. Like, it feels so real at the beginning. Like such a silly, but, a really well-balanced group of characters, except for Abraham, who's kind of a nobody at the beginning. I would give him, him doing homework doesn't tell us anything about him except for that he has to do homework. I thought he was going to be the smart kid, but that wasn't really it. I feel like he needs more of a lane to occupy. Other than him, I like the other characters. Catherine also kind of she just kind of dropped off a cliff and never came back. Never really did much. A little disappointed that the bus driver just vanished. Like, I would like to have seen her killed or something. And then, I don't know. The dolls were the best part. I didn't really like the introduction of the animatronics. The skeletons were okay. But yeah, I mean, this is like kind of like a silly little creepy story. I say silly, not as a negative or anything. I say silly meaning funny. I want to clarify that. I liked it a lot. Great job, Hallie Ivy. It was very entertaining. And yeah, I'm not going to vote. But if I were going to vote, I would definitely probably like to say something about that one. Anyway, this has been going on for quite a long time. So we're going to go ahead and call it there. I'm going to do more episodes of this. I'm not sure how long it's going to take me. But yeah, I'm going to do a couple more. There's 20 entries. We only got through 2. I think we got through a really short one and a really long one. I think maybe next time we can get through 3 if they're more on the short or medium size. But yeah, thank you for checking this out. You can leave comments. If I covered your game, if you felt I was unfair, please reach out to me. Let me know. Help me become better at this. And yeah, I had a lot of fun. Both really good games. I think the Floating House was a little more substantial, so it has that benefit. But Competent Escape Room too by Dibbit. I believe I'm pronouncing that correctly. So good job to both of these people so far. I'm excited to continue going on. If You Could Love a Wolf Like Me, I believe was one of the first, if not the first, submissions we received. So I'm excited about that one. I also like Happy 10th Anniversary Twine, because this is about Twine Boy and Twine Girl escaping from Anti-Twine Man. And I don't know, that's just kind of a cute little, I don't know, I'm into it. I'm interested. So yeah, next time we'll get to those two, hopefully. Maybe we'll get to 10 Lost Boys. I'm excited. I'll talk to you guys then. Thank you so much for watching this. Alright, goodbye.